And once again, hello everyone. My name is Yordan, and as you know, guys, on Fridays we do the summary of the trades we've been taking and discussing during the week. Again, it was not the most interesting month, not just the week. Volatility dropped a bit. We got stuck in corrective patterns, and that means more zigzags. We have to be more careful not to be caught up in these spikes, but still we know how to find some good opportunities, and that's what we did. So let's go ahead and cover the trades we had, starting with the report. Aussie Kiwi. Now this one has been pushing for quite some time. That was the trigger for us. Ever since it's slowly but steadily crawling up to the upside. The weekly cycle, which this breakout is based on, is that one, the triple one, along with the divergence. We're looking for the buy opportunities bouncing from the bottom here. So Aussie Kiwi, it might look unattractive because it's one straight move up, just like this one. For me personally, this pair is hard to trade. I mean, when it just moves in a single line without any structure, right? Not that easy to catch the trades, but anyways, it provides pullbacks here and there, so it's not impossible. But yeah, Aussie Kiwi moves fantastic. Then the cat franc, which we've been discussing pretty much the entire week. The idea here is simple. We have two legs and we're expecting this thing to finish with a breakout to the downside, creating one more push lower, and then very likely we're going to see bounces up. So far, playing inside the range, and that range is our battlefield. This is the place where we focused on trading. So basically, anytime we get closer to this zone right here, we wanted to look for the sells, and that happened. I think that was the first one, that was the second one. Now we're back to the top, which makes cat franc again, even though it's Friday, one of the most interesting opportunities. Since this is a short-term trade, I have no issues with today being Friday. Okay, so I would definitely trade it if it provides something. But check out what's happening now. This last leg here that we have, if we measure it as a double wave, 61.8. Then we have the 61.8 retracement, and that pretty much creates an amazing resistance zone right there. And furthermore, going and drawing here the line manually, the levels, we get this zone, tiny zone, that we can filter out from the rest of the spikes. And you can see that all of it focuses on the very same place. So these levels, they give you goosebumps when you see it. It's definitely fantastic zone to look for the sells. The 1 hour chart is currently under one-legged bearish divergence, meaning that we can easily create here a bit more to the upside. Basically a few more candles, right? And that would perfectly fit with the idea of the price reaching that zone right there. So 70 was that 74.40 zone approximately is the place where we can expect, okay, the price to go ahead and reach, and from there possibly a reversal if the divergences of course hold and if we get the breakouts. That could be breakout to the upside, invalidating the whole idea. So wait, be careful, wait for the confirmations. That's the whole idea. And if it doesn't go ahead and reaches that zone, we already see the pressure that we want to see. Okay, that's the first divergence. Then you have the second one, and now you have possible third one. We want to see this level being broken, first of all, if it's going to reverse at that stage. If not, and if it goes there, then we have to reanalyze it. But basically, that's the idea. Possible sells for the third time, I think it's now. All right, then the next one on the list, EuroCAD. Now you probably remember the weekly and the daily cycles. This is the two which are giving us that zone, the 147.48 range. And we said that this is a very critical moment here. A moment where the price will decide whether it's going to create double wave, and it attempted to create that push to the upside with the breakout upside up, which failed immediately, and the price dropped without giving any relevant setups for buys. And then it simply positioned itself below this amazing zone once again. And to make the entire situation simpler, we can put it this way. Long term, it's bearish. End of story. Whether we're going to get two waves or no, we're looking for sells long term. That would be, let's say, weekly chart. Then on the daily chart, we can get double waves or no double waves with immediate continuation lower. And on the 4-hour chart, we simply focus on that zone. As long as the price is above it, we can be looking for this second wave up. And if the price is below it, the continuations to the downside would make more sense, right? You want to be selling. So EuroCAD overall bearish with possible bullish corrections, and currently the way it looks, we are again back below this zone. So that means focus on the sales only, guys. That would be my suggestion here. Euro yen, same story, looking for the pullbacks to provide the sales. We're in a bearish trend, and in the short term here, in the short term, we've been discussing this idea for some time, if you remember. Now, even though Vlad is not here, he asked me to go ahead and follow up on this one, the short-term view, because since we're expecting it to go higher, why not enjoy the buys, right? And his idea was simple. There we go. We have the false breaks, we have the ABCD, we have the trend line breakout, we have the high breakout of these divergences here, which means pullbacks, and we're looking for continuation, or breakout, and you're looking for continuation. This one already paid the one-to-one. Now, depending on your trade management, you will be either kicked out, well, maybe you're somewhere here. I don't know how your trade developed if you're trading it, but this thing is still alive. We're still expecting it to create something like that, and overall focusing on the sales. That's the bottom line here. Okay, that's about Euro Yen. Sell. Euro Kiwi, with the expectation for continuation here in the longer run. Okay, and now we're back to this zone. Now it becomes interesting for the short-term traders because we have obviously amazing push upside, and pullbacks are welcome for buys. So if we go to Euro Kiwi, we know that we enjoyed the breakout here. I think it was this week in the beginning, if I'm not wrong. It managed to push, beautiful trend line, gave us opportunities to rejoin if you did not join on the initial breakout, and now it's back here. So the idea is, are we going to get one more push lower to get something like a range reaching this level, that zone, or it will be something like that? Let's see. But the sales could be definitely interesting, aggressive opportunity because you're going against the main trend. If anything is provided, if you want to stick to the well, trend trading, originally going with the trend, wait for pullbacks and buys only. That means buy the bottom or buy the breakouts, but do not sell. Okay, selling would be aggressive, and unless you're an advanced trader, I would suggest you to stick with the trend only. This one is easy. It's strong bullish move. Okay, second wave developing. We just need to see the breakout of the 100%. If not, we go down, and it's very likely that we'll see the push lower. That's why I said aggressive entries here would make sense, because we have the level, we have the divergence on the daily. It could easily provide pullbacks. All right, then we move back to pound CAD was the next one, I think. Yeah. Actually, let's start with the daily. Special cycle, false breaks, divergences, push up, expecting second leg upwards as long as there is no invalidation. And I'm saying as long as there is no invalidation because it created here a double top divergence, which means if it breaks below, that becomes more or less riskier, because now we have a reversal pattern on the 4-hour chart, and we don't want to be buying when there is a reversal pattern. That's obvious. On the other hand, you can see that there is lack of momentum, and break below, we might go ahead and invalidate it, but it doesn't mean we're going to sell it. Why? Because if it doesn't have the push, the momentum here, it means something is missing. And if something is missing, you don't want to be attacking it without further confirmations. As opposed to pound GU, which we're going to cover in a bit, this one I would not look for the sells yet because of that. Well, we need to see how it will develop, but bottom line is, until that happens, we're looking at bullish trend here. And one more thing, guys, keep in mind we might be getting here some sort of a range consolidation, flat area, and so on. Okay, something like that basically. So tiny spikes are totally acceptable, but I think we're going to hold here and we're going to get something like this possibly. I don't know, let's see. On the other hand, we have GU. Oops. What do we need? Weekly here. Where again, well, of course, we're expecting them to continue lower, all of them, especially with the Brexit uncertainty. So this is the weekly idea. That's the daily chart with this amazing level right here, that entire zone. Hidden divergences already in place, and that's the 4-hour chart. Now, it says bullish as long as the uptrend line holds, and this is going to be the most conservative idea here. In that case, it happens rarely, but we got something that started reminding a reversal pattern. We don't officially have it because it only pushed here. Okay, so it's not classical, but it's still convergence principle. But the convergence principle, let's say, happened before the trend line breakout. Usually it's vice versa. Usually you have the trend line breakout and then the convergence is happening there afterwards. So because of the previous price action, which was in a sideline, more or less sideways, this is the case. So until we have the further confirmation, it's better not to attack sells here. Okay, I did start my attacks. I already cashed out because of exactly that, and I managed to catch the pullbacks and pullbacks only in order to improve the risk reward ratio towards the bottom, because no one is saying we're going to see that and then continue, especially looking at the other GBP pairs which started forming this, so that could be easily leg number one, and then again push up. So all I'm doing is scanning all of them, and I try to pick the best one I have in order to get my setups. As you know, during all this time, I was not touching GU. I was trading the other pairs. They were better. Now this one managed to provide the reversal pattern. So I play with this, okay? But again, aggressive because this amazing, huge red candle could not provide convergence here. And that screams that there is something wrong. So very conservative, quick scalp in and out. That's it. And if we go to the actual live chart now, you'll see that this zone holds. And we have the three highs inside that zone. Surprise, surprise. So there isn't that much momentum. This move doesn't look very strong, backed up with momentum. All of that, all these signs are telling you there is something fishy. And again, the trend line is still there, the level is still there. So that's why we keep up with this scenario here that we should be looking at continuation. But again, there is no reason, because the daily chart is under pressure and this and that, to not try and scalp for a few pips here. Basically, tricky situation. If you don't fully understand how and what, basically skip it, guys. That would be the suggestion in this case. Kiwi. Now, Kiwi, we can talk as much as we want. We have the levels from the weekly chart, and we have this one, which is basically telling us sell pullbacks, and those pullbacks are never actually delivered. But I wanted to show you something else. Check out this count here. If we start counting this way, that means we have 3 possible targets below, and that means we have plenty of room to the downside, just like with Aussie dollar. Okay, so keep in mind that could continue for a few more months to be bearish. Of course, any pullback here could take months in corrections, but the overall picture is bearish until these levels are reached. Now, if you know how to trade these situations, well done, admirations to you. I personally don't, and I simply stay away. Okay, it's straight move to the downside unless you drop to the 15-minute chart or 1-hour chart to find something reliable, which I still don't find here. That's all. Okay, but the idea is continuation down bearish. Then we have dollar cut here. Dollar cut, which is trading inside this thing, and we now finished on the 4-hour chart a cycle here. Okay, so the idea is we want to see continuation down because the 4-hour chart gave us the confirmation, which was basically breakout, and we said push is lower. Hidden divergence started forming right there, and on the 15-minute chart we had the idea of breakouts and continuation. Now, after this push that was formed yesterday, I believe, look what happens, guys. And this is a warning sign. There is something going on here, and we're probably going to be stuck in a range. Okay, so if you have any positions open, my suggestion would be to go ahead and cut them. Why? Because, I mean, cut them once you get below around break even, right? At that stage, if your protection is right here, you're pretty much close to your stop loss. So cutting the trade means nothing, basically. If you're going to cut it, do it the right way. But why do I suggest to cut it? Because this bullish move ended up with ascending triangle, and as we never reached the top, and that divergence was never completed, we might be continuing higher, and that could be just a false break, which would be lovely, because then the move and the break to the upside will be very, very strong and powerful. So yeah, that's basically the idea, and this is when you see that sometimes it's just not there. So on the 1 hour chart, there we go, we have it. Okay, convergence, divergence, it's not going down. Why? We got the pullback, retest it again. Why it's not going down? It's not able to create new lows. Question mark, right? Something fishy is going on. Yeah, there is hidden divergence, but the chances of pushing lower start to decrease. Okay, so manage it as you want. You can let it run, develop, and either hit the stop loss or take profit, or I don't know, up to you. But those are basically all the facts and arguments I have about the overcut. So act accordingly, guys. Cool, that's about the forex pairs. Now covering the DAX very quickly, one commodity, and then the stocks. Now Vlad here is expecting to see one more push higher and then continuation lower, and that might make sense, but in my opinion that looks very seriously like inverted head and shoulders coming after bearish trend, which is amazing reversal pattern. And if we go ahead and, which we did by the way, break this thing, look where the target, approximately, right, maybe a few points up or down, but look where the target would be. Now I'm not sure how it's going to develop, but I'm currently for buys, guys. Okay, I just bought it with the breakout, so I think we're going to move higher. I don't know how it's going to develop. Maybe we're going to get the sell ideas later on, but definitely we have room to the upside, and I'm going to enjoy this bullish move. This is how it looks at the moment. And after all, you know my view. Indices are economies. Economies are usually going up. There are moments of recession and moments when the economy is stressed, and we're going to see drops. But the natural way for this thing is to go up, not down. Forex pairs are ranging in huge zones, but they're ranging. Almost never we see something going up. It's always two currencies related to each other, and it cannot go that higher or lower. I'm excluding exotics and so on, right? The stable currencies. Indices and stocks, no. No. Selling, careful. Okay? So this one in the shorter term, I'm expecting it to go much higher. 61 broken, 100 is the very first thing we should be seeing here. And furthermore, after the breakout and the convergence here, we have all the room up. So if we had to measure it precisely, look what happens. I was almost there accurate. So up to you to decide whether you want to stick with the sells or the buys, but for me this is at this very moment bullish. Okay, later on we might switch to the sells. I have no clue. Looking at the daily chart, once again it makes sense, right? We got this and that, looks perfect, but who knows, because then we can look at this and that would be ABCD and continuation. And if it's not clear, stick with the shorter term or don't trade it at all. So basically expecting these pullbacks here. Okay, enough on this one. Natural gas didn't move that much, but it broke and it's continuing with the bullish momentum. Okay, we've discussed here, I think 2 weeks ago or so, that if you want to be more conservative, you should wait for this breakout. If not, this breakout is what you're looking for, but as we discussed, that's not very impulsive move, guys. Okay, it's like the shy neighbor who is going to the girl and wants to dance with her, but he doesn't know how to ask her. Like slowly going there. Come on, man, show us some muscle. And it's simply not. So if you're in, well done. For me, it was a bit of gamble. If I'm going to trade, I'll wait for this swing high to be cleared. I want to see this kind of moves, okay, beautiful bullish moves with nice structure, then I can buy. But this, no. And up to here, you're in a bearish trend. So. Okay, that's about the guess and the stocks. Adidas currently in a pullback, very likely, unless it shoots up. My idea here would be this one. So basically we got the convergence, that means the pullbacks are starting. ABCD 61 clear, this is the 100 zone. In terms of levels, I see this one right here, and that's around 127, slightly above 100. So let's see if it will hold. But the idea would be to see breakouts for continuation of the sell to complete the double wave here. Okay, at least double wave. If not, then it just shoots up. Well, invalidation, right? We don't have a trigger. Buyer is the next one, and this is actually kind of boring here. That was the inverted head and shoulders with the breakout, and once it broke, it created a convergence principle, not convergence, because the convergence should have been created here, and we only got it here. So I guess we can say it's convergence also, measuring this one to this one. These guys, I'm not sure if you have anything, but I think you got the point. It's bullish. Problem is, it's not moving much. So let's see if it will develop further or not. But basically, there is nothing against currently. So the bullish momentum remains the same. Oil. Let's see, man. Let's see. 1 second. Guys, that's the report. As per the report, now let's check out the questions. Oil, one more high for clearance and then look for sales. Ahmed, yes, we'll do. Just 1 second. Let's finish with this one. Let me just draw here a few lines. Which time frame, Velisłav, are you referring to? H4 maybe? H1, H4, yeah. Could be, but I want to find more levels to rely on. So if we start working with the short-term line here, we have this zone. One more push. I don't know. Honestly, I still don't like it. One, 2, 3, and this one is taking as well. 61 is also there. So leg 1 3, like 4 and 5, and then down. Yeah, I guess we can do something with that. Might not be that bad at all. But let's see if we can get this scenario next week. And that would mean we stay at the 61.8. We don't cross and go to 100, right? The big one, if we go to 100, not cool, because then we have breakout. So let's see. That would be the zone, yeah. Okay, with this one, I would agree with you. It could happen. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. I'll put it on the list for next week to follow up on that. And who knows, maybe we'll get a setup. Perfecto. Can you look at pound Kiwi? What are we looking at here, Ahmed? Sells, buys. What time frame are you working with? H4. Well, you can go ahead and buy, but I don't know. First of all, you have this resistance. Second of all, we have hidden divergences. And I think we measured this one already or not. Yeah, it was the 100. Didn't we discuss that during the week, or maybe it wasn't you? I don't know. But we're sitting on the 100%. So unless we break above it, I don't see it very relevant for the buys. I mean, you have a wall right in front of you and you're trying to sprint, right? It will probably not end well. Plus, you have here the divergence, and now it started shrinking. So I think we're going to see some kind of contracting pattern, then maybe the breakout. But at that stage, I don't see the buys, sorry. Actually, maybe even sells, but no buys. You're welcome. Guys, any other questions? All right. So, quick update, just heads up for you. Next week, I will be away. Finally, time for my vacation as well. And that means you're going to be stuck with Mr. Vlad. That's it, basically. I'll try to check in from time to time, if anything interesting, to just share ideas. But overall, no LTRs. And that's it. Wishing you a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in 2 weeks, 10 days. Bye-bye.